Welcome to the Swing Trading with Cycles channel. Let's do our update on precious metals today. We'll do gold, silver, GDX. It is November 17th. It's the middle of the trading day. It's actually noon. We'll start with gold. We'll look at the daily chart. So we've had our swing high on day 8. This is the gold CFDs, by the way, so gold spot. Different levels for the futures, but same exact patterns. So day 8 was your swing high. The low there was 1767. So once we fell below that, we have a swing high, which is where we're at right now. And really, ideally, we'd want to hold the 1750 area, right? Like you could see that would just kind of keep this structurally intact. If we just draw a quick little trend, right? Like we did something like that, right? We've been doing that. So like something like that would be okay, right? And then you do something like that. Of course, this could also play out, that it does something like this, that, and then that. That's what we're going to watch for, like, which road is it going to take, essentially. But we know the levels. We really want to kind of see a turn around 1750, and then we're just below. And then our real line in the sand, as it were, is at 1700 area. Because if we come down all the way here, like this line, that's your 1700, we really kind of broken structure. So it'd be hard to recover from that, which isn't to say that we couldn't. And more importantly, on the weekly chart, right, this is all just consolidation at the upper end of the range. Always important to take perspective, take a step back, look at different charts on the right time frames. We would need to go below 1664 to make a new low on the weekly chart on account of the strength of this big weekly candle. So far, this is just consolidation below this 1806 level that we need to get through, which is the last that's the last like lower high that happened in this rally. So we really need to get above that supply zone. And on the monthly level, I mean, look at that monthly candle. It's still very green, and we're still above the highs from the previous months. So obviously that can and probably will change, but this is what we want to really be watching. So that's helpful to understand. And for silver is further along in its daily cycle, but it's the same idea. We're descending into a low. Day 22 was your top. For silver, we kind of oscillated here for like 3 days, consolidated a little bit, maybe actually about 4 days, and now we've finally broken lower below that 2130 area. And for this one, you'd really want to hold, I'd say $20.36 as I'm looking at it. And then like once you if you were to break below that, that would just be, I mean, again, like you wouldn't really want to go too much lower than that. But then you have like this last chance about at $19. I mean, you can see silver has a tendency to give back all of the move. Look at these downdrafts. That's what it's been doing, right? Giving back all the move. And so we really needed to hold a higher low here if you're going to remain bullish. And on the weekly level, this appears to be week 11. Now for silver, we're actually much closer to making a new low on the weekly chart. So that's a little bit concerning. That would be below $20.39. So you can see that coincides with that structural level we looked at on the daily chart. It's not a coincidence. All these things converge together. And also notice that all of this is happening like right on top of the 200-week moving average. So that's significant. I also mentioned this. This is the longest weekly cycle rally we've had since 2020, right? The last weekly cycle rallies have been 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 7 weeks. But at the same time, how much progress have we actually made, right? Let's measure it from peak to trough, from trough to peak. So we've gone up 26%. So that's not too bad, actually, right? But like, look how much time we wasted. Like this is just, or I should say, sorry, don't want to confuse here. This is your weekly cycle. Let me get rid of the drawings, make it easier to see, right? And let's get rid of the indicators. Let's hide it all, right? So that's your weekly cycle low here. And then look at this move here. This was just a big waste. We had this false breakout. It looked like we were going to make new lows because of this week. That was a swing high. And then we reversed. So we wasted time here. And then the rally didn't really get started until right here, right? And so now we watch, right? Have we topped out in the weekly cycle in week 11? It's definitely possible. That's what we want to be cautious of. On the monthly level, we're still green. And so that is promising. We want to watch that very closely. And finally, GDX. So the miners. So the miners are looking closer to gold in terms of their count. So miners topped out on day 10. Today was a gap down. It was actually a gap fill. I tweeted about this yesterday. And if you're not following on Twitter, definitely take a look at the link in the description. But that definitely tells you, maybe this is going to reverse higher, right? Like we fill the gap, we can move higher. I'd say you want to watch 26 as your line in the sand. We go below that and don't have a quick recovery, then that opens up the $24, $23 area, which is obviously a lot of downside from here. That's your daily chart. Same count as, or I should say, similar count to silver. So it's week 7, so it's a little bit earlier in the cycle. But similar kind of idea to silver, I should say, where we wasted some time here. Like this 2-week period was a big waste. But either way, this is actually still just consolidation at the upper end of the range. So we'll continue to watch that. The monthly chart remains green, although we're building an upper wick, which important to understand. Anytime we build an upper wick, it means we're setting up the next candle to be an inside candle, right? So we're setting up December to be an inside candle inside the month of October, at least to open. Obviously, it can close. It can and will make a move within the month, but that's important to be aware of as we look to close out November in the next couple weeks. And obviously, we have some trading days missing because of Thanksgiving coming up next week. So that's your lay of the land for silver or gold, silver, and GDX. We got to see if we can hold a higher low here. I think that is the general gist of it.